please join me in welcoming Eric Fingerhut.
Boker Tov, good morning. So before we delve into our important Federation agenda in this campaign plenary, there are three important updates that I'd like to address with you. First, we began our conference on Sunday with Julie's important report from Los Angeles. And of course, even as we've been here in Atlanta, the fires have continued to rage. We've all been following the news, and all who are here from Los Angeles and all who have family and friends there have been staying in close touch throughout the past 2 days. Last night, the chair of the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles, Orna Wolins, and its president and CEO, Rabbi Noah Farkas, asked me to give a special shout out to the Los Angeles Lions who are here. And they shared with me a brief update from the ground, which I'll share with you. Orna and Noah reported that Los Angeles continues to struggle with 5 active fires, the 2 largest ones being in the Palisades. Combined, over 50 square miles and close to 8,000 to 9,000 buildings have been burned and destroyed. Probably 20% of the Jewish community has been affected. Excuse me. I lost my notes. There's more. Has been affected in one way or another. Thank you. So far, 10 people have died. There's about 15 to 20 more people missing, and that number could grow. There are 33 Jewish schools in the area. 4 of them are not open at this moment. A synagogue and a preschool have burned down. Rabbi Farkas also noted the huge loss and the incredible leadership being provided by our Federation in San Gabriel and Sonoma Valleys and its CEO, Jason Moss. So we thank them also and keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Both Orna and Noah want to thank everyone who's already helped and those who have offered help. As we are only a few days in, it will take some time before all of the needs are known, but there will be a chance for all of us to do something. They closed by saying, "We hope you enjoyed the Lion of Judah conference, and we will stay strong together." Second, even as we are praying for peace for our brothers and sisters in Israel, the multi-front war has continued while we have been here in Atlanta. Rockets have continued to be directed at Israel from Yemen, causing damage and keeping all of Israel awake and on edge. And most tragically, 5 of our brave Chayalim, our brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces, have fallen in battle while we've been together here at this Lion of Judah conference. There is no doubt they are true Lions of Judah, whose death we mourn deeply, whose families we embrace, and whose memories we will lift up. They are Captain Yair Yaakov Shushan, age 23, from Malot Tarshisha, Staff Sergeant Yahav Hadar, 20, from Kfar Tavor, Staff Sergeant Guy Carmiel, also 20, from Gedera, Staff Sergeant Yoav Pfeffer, 19, from Herzliya, and Staff Sergeant Aviel Weisman, 20, from Perea. May their memories be a blessing. And so we must this morning pray for the safety and success in battle of all of our deployed soldiers and reservists who are at this moment on the front lines defending the Jewish people. If you are able, please rise and join with Shuk, our house band, in the Misha Berach for the Chayalim.
שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, העומדים על משמר ארצנו וערי אלוהינו, מגבול הלבנון ועד מדבר מצרים, ומן הים הגדול עד לבוא הערבה, ביבשה, באוויר ובים, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל, צבא הגנה לישראל.
Third, we remain on the highest of alerts for a negotiated release of our precious hostages held in captivity by Hamas these 466 days. We have been blessed with the presence of the hostage families at this conference. We thank them for sharing with us so openly and painfully their experiences. We have promised that we will be with them every step of the way, both to see their loved ones come home and to care for them when they do. We also have an important role to play in making sure all government officials know that we support the extraordinary efforts being made across political and party lines in the United States and in Israel to secure their release. Your local federation will be keeping you informed of what steps can be taken in the next few days to help send that message, and so will we through the conference app. We pray that the negotiations that are happening even at this moment will come to fruition. Psalm 121 says, Hinei lo yanum velo yishan, Shomer Yisrael, the guardian of Israel, neither slumbers nor sleeps. May that be true today and every day that it takes to bring them home. Well, this has been an extraordinary conference. We've learned together, we've prayed together, we've cried together. But it's now time, proud Lions of Judah, to get down to the business of our campaign day. Now, many of you know that I'm an old politician at heart. Dina reminded you of that. Mario Cuomo, the former governor of New York, once said that politicians campaign in poetry, but govern in prose. What he meant was that typically a campaign is the time to share lofty goals, but once the campaign is over, the work of implementing these goals is less uplifting, more nitty-gritty. Sometimes, I think Cuomo was candidly acknowledging the work of governing will inevitably not match up to the campaign promises that were made. Now, I'm not sure that Governor Cuomo's formulation holds in our politics today anymore. Today's campaigns feel more like professional wrestling matches than poetry readings. And the time between campaigns when the work of governing is supposed to get done often feels no different than the campaign itself. But the Cuomo formula certainly never applied to the work of our federations. We campaign with our whole hearts and souls, and then we do our work the same way. That is why, as we enter a new campaign year, we must understand as thoroughly as we can the needs of our communities and of the Jewish people. For it is our goal as campaigners and then as funders and organizational leaders to meet these needs to the greatest extent that we possibly can. Now, I know this is the Lion of Judah Conference, but as good Jewish mothers and grandmothers, sisters and daughters, I know you love all the children of Israel. And you know how important it is that we say something nice about all our children, right? So I think you will not mind if the lesson from our tradition that's been on my mind this morning comes not from Jacob and Leah's son Judah, but from another one of Jacob and Leah's sons together, Issachar. In the Tanakh, in our Jewish Bible, the descendants of the tribe of Issachar were said to have truly understood the times in which they lived and what the people of Israel needed to do. My friends, let the same be said of us at this 2025 Lion of Judah Conference, that we well and truly understood the times in which we lived, and we knew what we had to do for our Jewish community and the Jewish people. Now, the good news is that our agenda is not hard to discern. First, we are deservedly proud of our Israel Emergency Campaign, launched in the days immediately following October 7th. We collectively raised nearly $862 million. We have supported over 500 different organizations, responding to the needs of the victims of terror, the wounded and the grieving, the displaced and the traumatized. Every corner of our Jewish state has felt the support of the Jewish federations, given with love and compassion, but also with speed and professionalism. We have traveled and we have seen the needs ourselves, and we have embraced our brothers and sisters. Now, we know that the months and years ahead will be a time of recovery and rebuilding, and a new word that we have learned, regrowing, as we replant the fields and vineyards that were destroyed. We know that we will be called on as individual federations who are linked to partnership communities and organizations to respond, and as groups of federations working together to support entire regions and categories of need, and as a single powerful collective working all together to tackle the biggest and most daunting projects. I have no doubt that we will do what is required of us this year and in the years to come. Now, in today's plenary, we will learn about some of that work, especially from our close partners at the Jewish Agency for Israel and JDC. These examples are just a small taste of the vast number of projects and initiatives we are all taking on. And today's plenary will also remind us that even as we focus on the needs of our beloved state of Israel, Jews around the world still need our help, especially in Ukraine, where the war rages on, and in other countries where security risks to Jews are at the highest level since World War II. All of this is part of the times in which we live and what the Jewish people must do. The second item on our agenda is the core responsibility we all face at home for the safety and security of our community, which has entered a new phase. Now, since the murders at the Tree of Life Synagogue building in Pittsburgh on October 27th, 2018, we have made an extraordinary commitment to the physical security of our communities. From the roughly 10 to 12 communities that had full-time, professionally run community security initiatives in 2018, there are now only 10 to 12 federations left that do not have such programs. And those are, absolutely, and those are in our smallest communities, and they are on the way to being created. This security infrastructure is new, but it is already the essential platform on which every single Jewish institution, every synagogue, JCC, camp, Hillel Day School, and Jewish Family Service building is protected. It is how our security teams are connected to local, state, and national law enforcement. It is how we are sharing intelligence and maintaining the highest standards of operations and training. And now it is clear that October 7th will have been the same loud wake-up call for our work of protecting and defending the Jewish community in the broader society around us that the Tree of Life shootings were to our need for physical security measures. That is because the rise of anti-Semitism is a threat to the physical security of the Jewish community. While the impact of each individual anti-Semitic incident creates fear everywhere, and many organizations should and must address these effects, the immediate impact of an anti-Semitic act is local. Now let's be clear, no level of physical security will be sufficient to protect the Jewish community if local governments, law enforcement, schools, the business community, and religious institutions do not act to keep the virus of anti-Semitism from taking root. And this will not happen unless we have as effective a force against anti-Semitism as we do on physical security. These require a local response, which is the work of each and every one of you in the 146 Jewish federations. Now watch this video for just a small taste of what we have been facing in each of our communities.
This is Zionism, hand in hand with racist colonial ideology to justify genocide.
The Zionist ideals have brainwashed the people of the world.
Civilians murdered by the genocidal Zionist Israeli regime.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
We've seen tonight a complete mischaracterization of the state of Israel.
On October 7th, they carried out a pogrom against the Israeli people.
The last 4 months have left your Jewish neighbors feeling shattered, vulnerable, and unsafe.
I'm here to support the Jewish people, Israel, and their right to defend themselves.
Anyone who's not calling for Hamas to surrender and release the hostages has something other in mind than the welfare of Palestinians.
If they wanted a ceasefire, the only ceasefire would include the surrender of Hamas.
Stand up for our Jewish community here and Jewish communities around the country. Do not pass this resolution. People have tried to kill us time and time again, and we simply will prevail.